Hello and welcome to Reeltv, where we talk about the latest film and TV news. I'm your host, Lindsey Lorifus.
And I'm also your host, Ryan Mills. And we will be discussing classic films. So let's see. I looked online at the top 100 classic movies, and the first one that they had was the Wizard of Oz. Now, 1939, obviously. Now, what do you think when you hear of the Wizard of Oz? What do you think?
I think of Judy Garland and Somewhere Over the Rainbow and that timeless song that everyone still knows nowadays.
Yeah.
I picture Munchkins popping up all over the place, and it's just a fun, family-friendly film. And look at all that alliteration. That's pretty exciting. And I'm just so glad that that film has really transcended across many generations, and it should.
Yeah. Especially because they went from color to black and white, and then they oh my gosh, black and white.
Whoa,
Lindsey.
What's happening?
All right. Well, now we're in black and white. Okay. So that's weird. But anyways, moving on. Crazy. So, what do you think of the prequels and kind of sequels maybe of what they're doing with Oz, the Great and Powerful? I didn't really like that film too much. I felt like the CGI was really overdone. Mm-hmm.
I tried to watch it twice and I fell asleep at the same spot each time. I was like, wow, okay, this is just not meant to be. I was really not into it. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the movie magic there. So
yeah. Thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe in the future they'll figure something else out, which I don't think they need to do, but always a classic. Mm-hmm. So Citizen Kane was number 2, 1941. I loved Citizen Kane. I watched it for film class, and I learned so much from that film, and I finally found out where the quote "rosebud" came from. I mean, have you ever seen the film?
No.
Well, it's based on William Randolph Hearst, who was in the newspaper industry, and it goes through his life story essentially. And when I think of Citizen Kane, I think of the big text, because it opens with huge font, and that's all that you see on the screen. So that was one of the things that made people remember it. I mean, I'm not sure how significant that is now, but what reminded me of that somewhat recently was also the Conjuring. Have you seen the?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So the big text, only that on the screen, is significant from the film. So let's move on kind of quickly, because we have limited time. The Third Man in 1949 was number 3. I've never seen it. I know. Metropolis, 1927, great film. All About Eve, 1950, was number 5. Grand Illusion was number 6 in 1937. Modern Times, Charlie Chaplin film, silent film.
Interesting fact about Charlie Chaplin: he is huge in the Czech Republic.
Really?
And it's just interesting to see how certain people who, he was impactful in America, of course,
right,
but how he has really become this figure for them over there, that they make marionettes of him, and just the fact that he stands for Smiling was a song that he sang, and they just really appreciate his message that he, was really into just making people be happy, and I think that's just a neat thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
Number 8 was Laura, 1944. I've actually never seen that one either. King Kong, of course, 1933, and then number 10 was North by Northwest, 1955, by Alfred Hitchcock here.
Yes.
All right, and speaking of Alfred Hitchcock, we're big Hitchcock fans. The most well-known films of his are North by Northwest, The Birds here, Psycho, my personal favorite,
yes,
1960.
my favorite too.
Oh my gosh. Vertigo, Rear Window, Rope, and Shadow of a Doubt. Now, which ones of those have you seen, though?
Yes, Psycho definitely is by far my favorite. I do also love Rear Window with Grace Kelly. I'm a huge fan of the blonde bombshells of that time period. Yeah. You know, like Marilyn Monroe with Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and Doris Day with The Pajama Game and that musical, and so fun. And Tippi Hedren, of course, in The Birds.
Right. Iconic film.
Yeah, definitely iconic. And I just feel like he had a fascination with necks. You know, as I was thinking about what I've seen in his films, because he's always panning in really close to someone's face, of course, and like they would crane their necks differently in order to represent birds, of course, but it's just interesting of like all the body parts that were highlighted. I feel like necks were something that he was really into.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes sense with most of his films. He's iconic in himself. Like he's what like made me like appreciate film so much, and more so with Psycho, with Janet Leigh, and I forget his name. I forget the main actor who played Norman Bates. But anyway, like that film like made me really appreciate the aspects of film, and it's Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins.
Perkins. All right. Well,
now you can sleep at night.
Yeah. Right. Hopefully. All right, so we have to wrap this up, but the season finale of our show today, my last ever episode.
Oh my goodness.
Tears coming on. But we will see you later on for news and trivia, followed by the Amazing Spider-Man 2 discussion. Stay tuned.
Hello, welcome back to Reeltv. I'm Brian Sikapon, and I'm your host for trivia. We don't have news today, so we're going straight to the last part of the show. Today's show is all about National Star Wars Day, which is today, May 4th. But also today, it would be Audrey Hepburn's 85th birthday, so we have some trivia about her too. Let's meet our contestants.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Adam.
All right, and tell me either your favorite Star Wars movie or favorite Audrey Hepburn movie.
All right, well, people will get mad at me for saying this, but The Phantom Menace was my favorite Star Wars film.
Blasphemous.
Oh my Jesus.
Like I
favorite
said.
Audrey Hepburn movie is either Wait Until Dark or My Fair Lady. Star Wars best
or the other.
is Empire, then Return of the Jedi, then A New Hope, then Revenge of the Sith, then Attack of the Clones. Phantom Menace is the worst.
We're not going through the whole list right now.
Well, I just
You're on the Adam.
The only Audrey Hepburn movie that I've like heard of or seen is Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm sorry to say, but
That's your favorite.
And
automatically.
My Fair Lady, everyone.
And my Star Wars one is Empire Strikes Back, just because Harrison Ford. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, well, are you guys ready to play?
Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Okay, our first question is about Star Wars. Star Wars has given us a lot of amazing characters. However, one of the actors who plays one of these characters has been in every Star Wars film to date. What is his name? Is it Liam Neeson, Mark Hamill, Frank Oz, or Kenny Baker? I think that was Connor.
No, just kidding.
I really can't.
Yeah, I think it was Connor.
I think it was Connor, yeah.
Yeah, see, we're good sportsmen, right?
Right, Connor?
I'm going to say Kenny Baker.
All right, what about you two?
I was going to say Frank Oz.
I was going to say Frank Oz, too.
All right, Connor got it correct! Kenny Baker has been in every film as C-3PO. He's been in that he's been that lovable droid in every Star Wars film. Okay, Connor, calm down.
I thought we were going to get him right.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, Frank Oz, unfortunately.
Yoda is not in A New Hope.
All right, now it's about.
No hope
now
for
we have
you.
a question about Audrey Hepburn. One of her most iconic films is My Fair Lady. It was adapted from a stage play called. Actually, that's the thing. What was the original stage play based off?
Oh, no, you can
Can I just answer?
No, wait. Stop it. We need options.
All right, the stage play was based off an ancient Greek myth. Which myth was it? The myth of Hippolyta, Orpheus, Daedalus, or Pygmalion? I'm gonna guess Connor.
Pygmalion.
All right, what about you two?
Pygmalion for 100, please, Trebek.
I'm going to be different here and go with the third option.
The third option, Daedalus.
Yes, let's go with that.
Connor and Adam got it correct.
I am rocking it!
Pygmalion was the ancient Greek myth of a sculptor who fell in love with one of his creations, and the creation came to life. So it's similar to the way that Audrey Hepburn's character, Eliza Doolittle, is sculpted by the phonetics teacher, and like he falls in love with her. All right. So Connor's in the lead with 2. Adam has 1. Ryan, unfortunately, you don't have any. But since it's your last episode, I'll give you a point because it's your last episode.
Thank you.
That's nice.
So nice.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, today is National Star Wars Day. But why is that? What is the reasoning behind that? It coincides with National Geek Pride Day. It was the premiere date of one of the first Star Wars films. It's a wordplay pun, or it was George Lucas's birthday. Adam.
A word pun.
Word pun. May the force be with you.
I was going to say that as well.
Okay, so you technically all got that right then.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, yep. May the 4th be with you. That's a common phrase now today. And tomorrow is usually Revenge of the 5th Day.
Oh, that's actually
I
genius.
see what
That
they
is
did
genius.
there. Yeah.
All right, Connor,
I can't wait to say
you
that.
win. Don't.
Okay.
Yay!
Anyways, moving on.
All right.
We can-
All right, but still, like Adam, Ryan, you guys did very well.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yep.
Get it with
Done.
the 1 point.
Done. Dun 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 dun
All
dun
right.
dun
Well,
dun
all right, well, that'll be us for us today on Reeltv. Thank you very much
I
for
vote him
watching this semester, and we hope to see you again next semester for the latest scoop on the latest Hollywood news and TV news.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thanks everybody. 22 episode season.
Woo! 22, 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery.
That means 4. Hello and welcome back to Reeltv. I am Connor Smith.
And I'm Kyle Wexler.
And today we will be doing a movie review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which both of us saw earlier this weekend. Yes. I liked it. I do have a couple little problems with it, but overall, I thought it was a really good follow-up to a decent reboot of an incredible franchise.
Absolutely. There were definitely bugs in it. You know, no pun intended, but there are definitely bugs in it. But it definitely was an enjoyable movie that you could take the whole family to see.
Well, there is that one part,
well,
but we won't spoil it. But how do you feel about the Raimi ones? Let's just establish this. The Sam Raimi trilogy.
I'm very biased because those are my favorite movies of all time. The first and second ones are 2 of my favorite movies ever. So I don't think that anything can live up to that. So I think I was a little biased in watching this and saying, you know, that's not the same way they did it in the Sam Raimi films. That's not how Tobey Maguire swung his webs.
Yeah, so. I agree with that. I am also very partial because I remember going to Blockbuster with my dad and we rented the original Spider-Man and I was scared the first time I watched it. And I remember going to see Spider-Man 2 in theaters and I remember loving it and walking out of the theater absolutely in awe with the story and the visual effects and the reveals, like Mary Jane finds out and James Franco finds out, and I just think that is Spider-Man 2 to me is the best Spider-Man movie. It is everything I want. I would say after Batman and Batman Returns, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite superhero movie of all time.
Yeah.
So it's like a good third place. But with this one, a lot of people say that it's really overstuffed and it's really like too many villains, too many subplots, too many characters. I really didn't think that. I like Spider-Man 3. And a lot of people say that Spider-Man 3 is overstuffed. That one has Venom and New Goblin, Green Goblin 2, whatever Harry's. He wasn't Hobgoblin, and then Venom. So a lot of Sandman. What did I say? Yeah.
Venom before.
Yeah. So, but this one has Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. It has Harry Osborn, and I forget the actor's name, but
Dave Nahan.
Dave Nahan. Yeah, he's great in this. He steals it. And then the third villain was Rhino, he plays a very minor role, played by Paul Giamatti.
Right.
But let's not even talk about the villains here. The real stars of this movie are Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. They make this movie for me. Their chemistry is impeccable. I think the best scenes in the film are the ones where they're together, having conversations, talking to each other. And if there's one thing I like more about these remakes than the Sam Raimi ones, I think that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone have their relationship, they bring that to another level that Tobey Maguire and Kristen Dunst never had.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree, and they had great chemistry together. I didn't see the heart in the film. Just besides, they had some great scenes together, and I just didn't see overall. There was always in the Sam Raimi films such a great heart at the center of it, and it felt like it was something that you could watch, and afterwards you'd stand up and cheer. And I just didn't get that same feeling after this movie.
This one, I'm not going to spoil it, but this one is a lot different than the Sam Raimi ones. At least with me, I felt very, very, very emotionally connected with these characters, so that when something does happen in the film, I was very, very, very emotional. I think that this film is poignant in ways that the original Sam Raimi films weren't.
Right.
In that this one isn't heartfelt as much. I don't know. I'm like dancing around the invisible thing here, because most people probably know what happens. It was spoiled like 6 months ago before they even put the trailer out. But I think the film really, I think that scene is really almost what made it for me. That last battle scene with Goblin and I don't know. It did waste a lot of time on like setting up these villains that I almost wish that they had spent more time on their relationship.
Right.
But in the overall movie, I think they spent a good amount of time on their relationship, and that was what made the movie for me.
A thing for me that was missing, though, was the classic Spider-Man in the comics and in the movies. He always has problems that normal people have in every day. It's like he'll have a problem like he won't be able to pay his rent, or he'll be failing out of school, and things that you and I can relate to, where it's like almost like if we get bitten by a spider, we could be Spider-Man.
That's like Spider-Man 2.
Rent!
Pay your rent!
And they didn't have that. It's almost like things were too good for Spider-Man, and too good, and Emma Stone loved him, and there was no love triangle or nothing stopping them, and I really think that they
maybe that's why the thing that you were talking about happens.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think the emotional core of this one is almost stronger than the Sam Raimi ones. I think the Sam Raimi ones are funnier.
Yeah.
They have better villains.
Absolutely.
They have better performances overall from the villains.
Definitely.
Tobey Maguire was a great Spider-Man. I think that Andrew Garfield gets the like playful side of it, but I think that Andrew Garfield gets the hero, or Tobey Maguire is the hero aspect of it, while Andrew Garfield gets the teenage boy aspect of it. I think that they both have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
But I did like the film. I thought the action was pretty good.
Yeah.
The Times Square battle was cool.
Right, absolutely.
The rhino chases were cool.
Definitely.
And the climactic battle that we're talking about, I was shaking. I was actually like intensely like, I was very like, it's very suspenseful. It's a really, really like, more so than like Avengers or Captain America, because you know everything's going to work out in the end in those types of movies. You all know you all know the Avengers are going to save the day in the end. You all know Captain America is going to save the day in the end. So that was why I almost like this film more than a lot of recent superhero movies, because it kept me on the edge of my seat and it surprised me. And a lot of superhero movies haven't done that in a while for me.
And Spider-Man was, in the comics, the first ever superhero not to save the day in one of the comics. And in one of the comics that we were talking about, in Gwen Stacy in the comics, she dies, and that was really shocking to everyone. And so that was really shocking. And so you don't know if she ever saves the day. That's really what I love about this.
And you know what? One more quick thing. The thing I love about Gwen Stacy in these movies more than Mary Jane is Mary Jane was such a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She had, you are who you choose to be, now choose. And then she got captured in the second one, and then she got captured in the third one. Like the villains, like she's always the damsel in distress. But with this one, Gwen Stacy is the one who comes behind the villain and smacks him in the head, and she's there to save the day with him.
Yeah, she helps him
puts
figure
herself
out how to
front
save
and center
the
in
day.
the danger.
And with the webs and with redesigning his webs, she figures that out too. It's really cool.
She's definitely pretty helpful.
Very nice.
But I liked it. Kyle liked it. Go see it. It's definitely has a couple of surprises.